So one of my favorite teams in the NBA at the time of making this video, the Charlotte Hornets, have finally done pretty well in the lottery. Again, they didn't do exceptionally well. They were able to get one, but they were able to get pick number 2. So in today's video, I will be talking about who I think they should be selecting with this pick. Again, if you're wondering why I've got a little bit of a soft spot for the Charlotte Hornets team, I did explain it in another video, but essentially, really what LaMelo Ball just did for the country of Australia, which I came from and whatnot. Just one of my favorite players, and hey, I even got to meet the bloke, which was a very, very awesome thing. So I've always wanted them to do well. And with the second overall pick, I believe they have a chance to select a player who I think should be able to hopefully help LaMelo Ball out and take this franchise that is pretty trash to hopefully being a relatively decent franchise in the NBA. So again, before we get into it, I would just like to say this is going to be a clip from my official 2023 NBA mock draft top 5 lottery and whatnot. So go and check that out, which will be linked in the description down below. That way, if you're wondering why I didn't take a certain player with this pick, like Victor Wembanyama, it's because he already went with a pick earlier on. So go and check out the full video, which will be linked in the description down below. Get to see who I have all the other teams selecting to and whatnot. So yeah, highly recommend going and doing it. Even comment on that video saying it came from this one or whatever. That'd be kind of sexy. So yeah, not really much more to say. Without further ado, here's who I think the Charlotte Hornets should be selecting with the second overall pick in the 2023 NBA draft. Now with the second overall pick, we have the Charlotte Hornets, who could have definitely used Victor Wembanyama themselves, but when we look at it, the fact that they were able to get up to pick number 2 is a really, really good thing for them, just because now they can finally put a player alongside LaMelo Ball, where LaMelo doesn't have to consistently take out his do-it-yourself type of kit every single game. And of course, with this pick, I will have them taking Scoot Henderson. I know that Scoot Henderson is another point guard, and that is pretty much the position that LaMelo Ball plays, but you just can't look past this guy. If Victor Wembanyama was not in this draft, Scoot Henderson would be a consensus number 1 overall pick, I believe. Not just that, in previous drafts, this guy probably could have gone number 1 as well. He is an elite level point guard who has absolutely insane off the charts athleticism, being compared to a younger Derrick Rose. And I know this player is in a bit of all sorts of trouble with his NBA career at the moment, but he's also being compared to Ja Morant. A bit of a hybrid of Ja Morant and Derrick Rose, just consistently extremely athletic, can score at really any will. His playmaking looks really, really nice as well. And in his first season against professionals in the NBA G League, I believe he did actually average around 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists, which is pretty decent stats, especially in a pro league. I always do like to see these players go into the pros and, again, try out their game before they do, of course, get drafted. We know LaMelo Ball did it with the Australian NBL team, the Illawarra Hawks, and seeing these two potentially partner together, I think will be a really, really awesome combo guard type of thing. Again, you're looking at a dude in LaMelo Ball who is about 6'7", can definitely slot over to potentially guarding that shooting guard position if you need. LaMelo, I think he can play off ball. He's not really ever done it so far in his career, but he has played with Terry Rozier, a really dominant ball scorer, so it's not like he wouldn't be used to doing something like that right now. Anyway, Scoot Henderson, of course, comes in. A really nice defender as well. I think that's what people don't see is, look, 15, 5, and 5 are pretty good stats. It's definitely a top 5 pick player type of stats in the NBA, but what makes him the number 2 overall is his defense is really, really underrated with his athletic frame, just being able to do all that type of stuff on the defensive end of the court. Again, with all that into account as well, you just see the ability for this guy to be able to score as an athletic beast. Very similar stats, I believe, to what Ja Morant and Derrick Rose produced in college as well. So I definitely would really like to see this, duo happen. And honestly, things could maybe be looking up for the Charlotte Hornets very soon. I'm not sure what's happening with Miles Bridges. I don't know if that's ever going to get settled, but I did hear a rumor that the Hornets are looking very close at Miles Bridges. And once they trade away, I think, Terry Rozier, which will probably happen once they draft Scoot Henderson and whatnot, I could definitely see Miles Bridges coming back to this Hornets team. And what an off-season it would be to add a guy who probably should be an all-star in the NBA right now in Miles Bridges. And you're also adding another guy who I think could be a future all-star in Scoot Henderson. What an off-season be for the Charlotte Hornets. And I just think this makes a whole lot of sense to probably go in and look to do a move like this, I believe. So yeah, with the second overall pick, I think it's a pretty obvious decision by the Charlotte Hornets to take Scoot Henderson. Might not be the greatest fit with LaMelo Ball, but I definitely still think there is a huge possibility that these two are going to be absolutely fantastic together. And yeah, just those two at your guards is one of the best combo guards probably going to be in the NBA. So I could definitely see this, of course, succeeding. And oh my god, if you get Miles Bridges to the team, imagine how entertaining that big three would be. LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges, and Scoot Henderson. Like, wow. I think people forget that when Miles Bridges was on the team, this Charlotte Hornets team wasn't even that bad. Like, they were, I believe, a 10th or 9th seed at one stage. You bring Miles Bridges back, you probably add some more pieces in free agency, bring in Scoot Henderson. Whew, you're looking at a really, really solid outfit on the Charlotte Hornets next year. And hopefully for them, a healthy LaMelo Ball and potentially, hopefully, a healthy Gordon Hayward too, especially if he will most likely be on the roster again next season. So again, with the second overall pick, I do have the Charlotte Hornets, of course, selecting Scoot Henderson. But yeah, of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment your thoughts and opinions down below. Do you guys agree with my mock draft, or do you guys not? Of course, I would really like to know, who would you guys have maybe going different, and are you guys excited for your team to potentially select a player? What's going to be going on? Let me know all your thoughts and opinions down below. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to my IRL/vlog channel and my podcast and my gaming channel as well, which will all be linked in the description down below. But as I was saying, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.